The cluster environment is a three-step installation. Before installing the Oracle Clusterware, you should validate your setup with the Cluster Verify utility to perform the pre-installation and the post-installation check. The secure share will provide the ability to install the Oracle Cluster Ready service seamlessly on every node part of your RAC environment. Oracle Universal Installer will propagate the Oracle Home on each server. This step is essential before installing any instance. Once completed, a voting disk file will manage the status of each node and will evict from the service any no-responding server. The Oracle Cluster Registry keeps the node and database configuration part of the cluster service. The Global Cache Service implements cache coherency by using what is called the cache fusion algorithm. This technique manages the block consistency between different instances. ASM installation is similar than the Cluster Ready service. Once again, install the ASM software and Secure Shell will do the rest of the job. A second Oracle Home will be created on each node part of your cluster environment. CSS is the service that determines which node in the cluster are available and provide cluster group membership and simple locking services to the other processes. Every ASM instance are prefixed by the plus sign and ended with a unique sequence number part of the same cluster. The redundancy level for your business requirement will determine the number of candidate disks before any ASM installation. The last step is the software and database installation. The Database Configuration Assistant will give you the ability to link the instance database with the cluster and ASM. A last database Oracle Home will be created for each node member of your cluster. Equivalent as your ASM instance, you will be asked to provide an Oracle Instance Database prefix. The cluster service will generate a unique sequence number for each instance on every node. Simulate two sessions by using SQL Plus application. The first session will be started with the famous cut sample schema. The update statement will be executed as the first transaction. Every block implicated in the transaction are loaded in the memory of the master instance and registered in the global cache by the LMS process. Let's complete our example by starting another session. To simplify the functionality of the cache fusion, we are going to manipulate those same blocks as the first instance. The requested instance will first look out for those blocks in the global cache and reclaim a copy for its local memory. This last instance will become the new master node. The CSS process determines node availability via communication through a dedicated private network with a voting disk used as a secondary communication mechanism. Basically, this is done by sending heartbeat messages through the network and the voting disk.